Well, thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday afternoon here on 9 News Plus. I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. And pretty quiet weather prevailing for us here across Colorado. We've got mostly sunny skies and mild temperatures. We'll see that continue for the next little while. But we do get a little bit of a, maybe not quite a roller coaster ride, but we'll see some changes here in the next few days. The cold front that moves through on Friday, and then we get some showers and storms back in the picture this weekend. Right now over the Eastern Plains, Burlington looking pretty quiet and calm right now. And things looking pretty nice out there. Just some of those, some of that lush vegetation in Burlington right now. Things looking pretty nice for our friends out on the Eastern Plains. And then Longs Peak, also looking nice right now. And just a few of those cumulus fair weather clouds off in the distance. Probably a bit more bark than bite with those clouds right now. And here in Denver, really not much in the way of any cloud cover overhead. We are 84 degrees right now here at the 9 News backyard. Heading up into the upper 80s later on today, mid to upper 80s as we head over the next few hours. So warmer temperatures today, cool down for us on Friday. Highs dropping to low to mid 70s for us on Friday, and then storm chances will increase for us this weekend. Specifically on Sunday will be the day with the highest potential for a few storms that could, maybe in one or two cases, turn severe. Temperatures right now, mostly 80s, 90s, Eastern Plains. It's pretty typical stuff for the first week of September. And some 60s and 70s right now in the high country, though it's notably warmer out on the western slope, and that is because you're a little bit closer to that ridge of high pressure that is giving us this relatively tranquil and warm weather on across Colorado on this Wednesday. Winds gusting into that 20 to 25 mile an hour range. Did have a weak cold front drop through that does have that wind right now in the 10 to 20 mile an hour range, and it's out of the north and the east. That's giving us a little bit in the way of some cooler weather right now for us across Colorado, and those temperatures as a result just going to be a little bit maybe slightly cooler than what they might be. It'll warm up a bit for us for tomorrow. Winds will be gusting up into that 30 to 35 mile an hour range for tonight and tomorrow, and we'll see that gust perhaps up into that 40 mile an hour range in a few spots for a brief period of time later on tonight to early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, not a ton to talk about. Certainly coming out of the skies, just a few high clouds for us this afternoon, and we'll see a few more showers and storms develop for us across southern Colorado for today, but otherwise a generally quiet note. All that thanks to a ridge of high pressure that's going to continue to nudge its way in our direction for tomorrow, and that'll briefly spike those temperatures to near 94 tomorrow before a push. You might notice that cooler and much more unsettled weather off to our north and east. We're going to get very much sideswiped by that tomorrow, I should say by Friday and into Saturday. We'll get just a little bit of a glancing blow for that by Friday and Saturday with just a little blip in those temperatures. Tonight, it's dry, breezy, and mild with those temperatures dropping back to 60 degrees. By the way, sunset at 7:26. We are losing 2.5 minutes of daylight per day across Colorado. So if that sunset feels like it's getting earlier relatively quickly, you would be right. And as we get closer and closer to the vernal equinox, which is the start of autumn, which comes up in less than 3 weeks' time on September the 22nd. Well, as we get closer and closer to that midpoint, to the sun's rays being directly over the equator, you start to actually accelerate and increase the amount that you are decreasing that sunlight. So if that makes sense. We're only, when we're close to the summer solstice in early July, we're only losing a few seconds of daylight per day. But as we get closer and closer to the equator, as the sun's rays get directly over the equator, we're losing closer to about 2.5 to 3 minutes of daylight per day. So again, accelerating in terms of the amount of sunlight that we are losing. Tomorrow, sun rises at 6:30. Tomorrow's high temperature, the main impact 89, so our warmest day of the week, no doubt about it for tomorrow. And a slim chance for a brief gusty storm tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, high temperatures are main impact in our main story. We're in the upper 80s in Denver, a lot of low 90s, maybe even some mid 90s out across the southeast plains, 60s and 70s in the high country. Most of what you're looking at here, about 5 to maybe in some cases closer to about 10 degrees above average. Again, tomorrow's going to be our warmest day of the week for us across Colorado. Futurecast for tomorrow, mentioned that chance for a few gusty showers and storms. You might notice here they're pretty widespread. The monsoon moisture mostly stays off to our south and our west, but Utah will have a bit more active weather, Arizona, New Mexico as well. In Colorado, though, those showers and storms pretty widespread for us for tomorrow. So just a slim chance for a brief gusty storm. That would be because the rain will evaporate before it hits the ground, as it does it'll let out a little whoosh of wind, and that's what we could see here in the Denver area for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Otherwise, 7-day forecast, a couple things kind of highlight here, but overall, a fairly tranquil look. Two things. I'll just leave you with this. This is Friday. We will cool down. Again, I mentioned that real push of much cooler, true fall-like weather off to our north and east. We very much get sideswiped by that here in Colorado. The majority of that energy is well off to our north and east in the Dakotas, Minnesota, Michigan. That's where you're going to feel a real taste of fall. Here in Colorado, again, we just get a little glimpse of that, and so that'll drop those temperatures in the mid-70s on Friday. Maybe even some upper 60s across the northeastern plains. Then Saturday and Sunday, we rebound pretty quickly, just in time for that Broncos opener on Sunday, as the Broncos hosting the Tennessee Titans, 2 p.m. kick on Sunday. If you're a little worried about storms, I wouldn't exactly hang your hat on that. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Just isolated storms. I'll leave about a 30% chance for a storm coming up for us on Sunday afternoon as the Broncos host the Titans. I will say it does look like Sunday has the highest odds for a storm this week, as we get just enough of a push of monsoonal moisture. Also, kind of want to mention as well is that the remnants of Hurricane Lorena, what is now Hurricane Lorena, that are currently out over the eastern Pacific, the moisture from that's going to stay just off to our south, mainly in New Mexico, but that will bring into southern Colorado a bit more active weather for us this weekend, specifically Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, here, folks, again, it's fairly tranquil for the next few days, and today marks the 64-year anniversary of Denver's earliest measurable snow on record, which was back on September the 3rd of 1961, when we saw 4.2 inches of snow fall in Denver. And a fun fact about that is that temperatures during that event actually stayed above freezing the entire time. It did not drop to 32 degrees, so it snowed so heavily it was able to overcome a very warm ground and those temperatures that were above freezing in Denver. So 4.2 inches of snow on the Sunday before Labor Day back in 1961. Again, that was 64 years ago today. So fun little fact for your average first measurable snow date in Denver is on October the 18th. So we got more details on all of that. I'm actually going to get into more detail and show you some photos on that coming up 9 News at 4 p.m. as well as on 9 News at next as well. And then we'll have Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 3, 4, 5, 9, and 10 later on tonight as well. Once again, I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. I hope you have a great rest of your day as well.